Kasi after na nangyari po kay PRRD or FPRRD, pansinin ninyo, hindi kaya nililihis nila, nakapokus tayo doon habang naghahanda ng mali-malitang paghahatian.
Yun ang
Kasi, ano eksakto.
Balik tanaw. Nangyari ito March, itong pakidnap, no? And nung lumabas itong joint affidavit ng 18 mga former AFP personnel, yung mga sinasabi nila, the relevant period was also about that time also. Early last year. So, you know, you would call it coincidental, maybe. But if you look at the events, itagpik-tagpik mo, mukhang ganun na nga ang nangyari.
habang busy,
Nakakaawa,
nakakagalit, nakakagutom, nakakaiyak, lahat na emotion nata.
Alam mo, parang nagiging malinaw sa ating lahat ngayon, no? Mga kasama, mga kababayan na nasa live po ng Kapihan sa PDP. Hindi kaya sinadya ito? Kasi sa akin dama ko na hindi ito talaga ang dapat mangyari. Pagkos ito yung gusto nilang mangyari. Kasi after na nangyari po kay PRRD or FPRRD, pansinin ninyo, hindi kaya nililihis nila, nakapokus tayo doon habang naghahanda ng mali-malitang paghahatian.
Yun ang
Kasi, eksakto. Kaya nga sabi ko, maliit na nga ang tingin sa atin na mga inaasahan natin kinatawa ng gobyerno ngayon. Pababayaan pa ba natin silang magpiesta pa? O dapat na natin ihinto ito?
O kaya hintayin natin ang mga maleta magsalita na lang kayo.
Oo nga. Alam mo, malapit na. Kasi nanggigigil na po sekretary ang mga maleta.
Yes, gigil na.
My take on that one,
Yes.
in hindsight lang, yung kung balik tanaw, nangyari ito March, itong pakidnap, no? And nung lumabas itong joint affidavit ng 18 mga former AFP personnel, yung mga sinasabi nila, the relevant period was also about that time also. Early last year. So, you know, you would call it coincidental, maybe.
Confluence of events.
But, yeah, I would agree that there's a confluence of events during that period of time. But, yeah, you can never prove one way or another. But if you look at the events, itagpik-tagpik mo, mukhang ganun na nga ang nangyari.
Habang busy.
Balikan natin ang maleta. Tama po si Atty. Delgrano kung nakakapagsalita lang ang maleta, tapos na to. Pero hindi naman natin yan dapat pang gawing isang salita na magiging katawa-tawa lang dahil alam natin na wala namang bibig ang maleta. Pera lang ang nasa loob nun. Pero pakinggan natin yung mga lumalantad at mga matatapang na gustong mag-testify. Bakit mo binubusalan ang mga bibig nila? Bakit mo hinihinto ang kanilang pagpapahayag para malaman natin ang katotohanan? Kung talaga gusto nyo makiisa sa katotohanan lalabas at malalaman nating lahat bilang Pilipino, dapat pabayaan nyo sila. Huwag nyo pangunahan na huhulihin ninyo dahil hindi naman sila nagsasabi ng totoo. Bakit hindi nyo gawing lantaran at transparent sa sambayan ng Pilipino ang kanilang pagpapahayag? At bayaan nyo ang mga Pilipino ang maghusga. Dahil wala na wala nang naniniwala. Naniniwala pa ba kayo? Napakasakit. Dahil bilang Pilipino, tinatanggal nila yung karapatan natin. Karapatan pantao na makibaka tayo para sa tama, manindigan sa katotohanan, para talaga maibigay natin yung pag-ingat sa ating inang bayan ng Pilipinas.
Ang aking katanungan po ay nakatuon kay Attorney Delgra, no? Being currently a trial lawyer. So, Attorney Delgra, after the ICC has moved toward the confirmation of charges against former President Duterte, what can you share about what this stage entails? Ibig sabihin po, bakit ho ba importante ito para lang po mas maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan itong tinatawag na confirmation of charges?
Thank you, Yvette. I will try to explain it in layman's term as much as I can. in this context. Unang-una, meron tayong confirmation of charges hearing the other week. And it took 4 days, no? Monday to Friday with a break on Wednesday. So 4 na araw na paglilitis. If you would recall, it was heard before what you call a pre-trial chamber. So hindi pa po yan yung paglilitis mismo. Kasi pag mangyari na may paglilitis, yung kaso po dadalhin sa tinatawag na trial chamber. At ang pagkaalam ko po, ibang set of judges naman ang mag-i-hear ng kaso. If the information I got it correctly. Pangalawa, yung confirmation of charges hearing was just the process of the prosecution to argue before the pre-trial chamber kung meron bang tinatawag na sapat na basihan. Ang standard sa batas under the Rome Statute ay tinatawag na substantial evidence. Kung meron bang reasonable ground to say na may tamang ebidensya na itulak yung kaso papunta sa paglilitis or trial. And if that happens, the charges would be confirmed. And if the charges would be confirmed, tuloy yung kaso. Ano pong mga consequences niyan? In layman's term po, tatagal yung kaso. So tatagal yung pagditini kay former President Duterte habang nililitis yung kaso. The other option also, because there are 3 possible outcome of this confirmation of charges hearing. So the first one is confirmation, and if the charges are confirmed, the case will proceed to trial. The second one is ma-deny yung charges. Ibig sabihin, hindi sapat yung ebidensya na inaipresenta ng prosecution during the 4-day hearing, during the confirmation of charges hearing. At hindi sapat na kumbinsi ni Attorney Kaufman yung pre-trial chamber na hindi sapat, and therefore the charges would be dismissed. Ano pong consequence niyan? The charges would be denied. Ano pong consequence niyan? Eventually, the charges would be, or the case would be dismissed. And if there is no more case against the former president would now be ordered release from detention and hopefully be brought home to the Philippines. Yung pangatlong outcome po, pag makita ng pre-trial chamber na hindi sapat yung ebidensya, dalawa pong mangyayari dito. Ibabalik sa prosecution at yung prosecution will be directed to either come up with additional evidence para maiangat doon sa standard na tinatawag na substantial evidence to support the confirmation of the charges, or to amend the charges based on the evidence already presented. So, yun po yung tatlong possible outcome ditong confirmation of charges hearing sa ginagawa ngayon sa ICC.
And that brings me po sa personal ko pong observation when the ICC prosecutors were presenting their pieces of evidence, marami po silang nabanggit na mga sinabi daw ito ay video clip, sinabi ni Presidente Duterte, ganito, ganyan, But apparently, mukhang wala naman akong nakitang direct link. Yung talagang, alam niyo yun, written, documentary, na pinag-utos niya kung ano man yung charge nila sa atin. So, to me, yung pagsasambit lang po, mere saying, without actual causal link, sa kanila po, ebidensya na yon. Tama po ba yung intindi ko, Attorney Delgra?
Ganun po yung argumento ng prosecution. But I'd like to say this, and on behalf of the 6 Filipino lawyers who were there, after the 4-day hearing po, we were unanimous in our assessment na kung ang merito lang po, if we're looking at the merits of the case, the arguments that were presented by both sides for that matter, the prosecution principally, supported or supplemented by the representative for the victims, and on the other side, the defense. Ang unanimous assessment po namin, na 6 na abogado, is that may mataas na chance that the charges would be denied. Kung yun lang po ang pagbabasihan. However, there are other considerations to consider, among which is quite obvious, as alam nyo na, at na-confirm din when I talked to a few ICC lawyers over there, na cases that are brought before the ICC is also political. So yung political consideration po will play into how the case will be decided. And I hope, and we all hope, that the pre-trial chamber will decide it on the merit. Kasi yung mga, if you notice, if you're following the live streaming, and by the way, it was not really live because it has a 30-minute delay. And if you notice also, there were occasions na pinuputol.
Especially
And that was confirmed by the defense team na pinuputol yung mga sinasabi. Ibig sabihin, there is a 30-minute gap for the ICC to determine whether it should be broadcast or not. So, meron po yung mga napuputol. Mainly, as I was told, to address yung tinatawag nilang confidentiality rule. But we were there, we were observing the evidence that were presented by the prosecution and the rebuttal evidence and argument presented by the defense. And we were confident na isa-isa na-rebut ni Attorney Kaufman yung mga ebidensya that were brought out by the prosecution. Yun po ang masasabi ko doon. In fact, siguro one segue lang which is related to it is that nung inalabas ng prosecution yung video patungkol sa so-called Agdao shooting, I think that was a Tuesday. We were surprised that immediately after that hearing, yung author ng video mismo came out in public, in social media, saying na the showing of the video before the ICC was never authorized by him. At saka yung argumento on how the video was presented by way of evidence was, I don't know if I got it correctly, was twisted, or it was not the way the video was taken at the time. And so we sought the author of the video, and good enough, he executed an affidavit saying the things that he mentioned in social media, confirming, by the way, what he said in social media. Na ang sinasabi nga doon na according to the prosecution, the way they appreciated is nakita ni Mayor yung nangyayari at wala siyang ginawa. Ay sabi naman ng author, hindi naman yun yung konteksto kung bakit kinuha niya yun. Actually, pinabayaan niya lang na kumukuha siya because it was that time when the mayor was appreciating the capacity of the 911 CCTV system. And ironically, pinapakita ni Mayor at inaalam niya, no? Hindi naman niya pinapakita sa media, pero inaalam niya yung capacity ng CCTV system ng Davao City. What for? In order that CCTV, yung 911 system po ng Davao City was established precisely to deter crimes. Na kung may mangyari, madali lang malaman. And that's precisely na napakita doon. So, wala naman siyang tinatago. Ibig sabihin, pinakita niya yung capacity ng CCTV. And what's the purpose of that? Is to ensure public safety in public places, and therefore to deter crimes. So yun po ang ibig sabihin